Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on May 18th, 2022. I don't know what's wrong with me. I apologize. I have 2023 in my mind already. Anyway, here we are. Look at all the people showing up. There's Ernie. I'm going to introduce the latecomers first. Ernie, food industry recruiter, okay? And his motto is no drama. If you have a problem, just move on to the next call. Don't let yourself get excited, okay? That's one of the short rules of recruiting. And H, Ryan Hachinsky, just likes to call himself H or H team or, oh, he's a Hachinsky today, okay? We've got all these Eastern European types with us. And Ivan Gulenko, Klang.so, he's the famous IT recruiter in Switzerland who built his own applicant tracking system that everyone loves. Klang.so, go check it out. KLANG.so, in case you're just listening to audit, just sound. Okay, and our friend, you tell your name so I don't mispronounce it. Go ahead.
My name is Sara Vošinek Gašpar.
Sara Vošinek, is that how you say it?
Vošinek, yeah, Vošinek.
Vošinek, yeah, Gašpar. You know what? Gaspar. That's her name, Sara Gašpar. That's all you have to remember, okay? I didn't have her schedule as a guest, but she's got a lot of new stuff to tell us, and she is a good guest. So I'm going to start off, everybody, by talking to her about the dramatic change in her recruiting life. And if somebody else wants to interrupt her or talk over her or change the subject, please feel free and we'll see where it goes. Okay, Sara, you told me before the show started that you moved inside. You were an agency recruiter, and since the last time you were here, you've become a corporate recruiter. What prompted that change?
Actually, what prompted the change was really funny. So actually, the company reached out to our agency and to kind of hire for them, and that's how I got to know the company. And then a couple of months later, they reached out if I would work for them. And it's just the kind of company that I couldn't say no to. Like, I really just couldn't say no to hire.
Why did they reach out to you? Reach out as a term I never use. Why did they want to recruit you? And why couldn't you resist it?
So they wanted to recruit me because we did, I left a good impression, while trying to.
Were you the only recruiter in your company working on their searches?
We didn't end up signing a contract. So they just kind of went through the first call with me and my boss. But they really liked me. So they.
Why? Why did they like you? You didn't even do a job for them.
No, I didn't even. I don't know. Just when I told them how I would hire for them and what's my style.
What did you say? Tell us what you said. I like you, and I've never worked with you. What is it that you said to them? I want to be able to.
So kind of the same things that, got me then my job. So just, hiring developers on Reddit, just, checking, sourcing through GitHub and Stack Overflow repositories to see who uses this kind of tech.
So you told them that your sources, you said, I hire on Reddit. Did they, are they smart? Did they ask what subreddits are you following? Meaning the specific.
No, they didn't. At that point, they didn't. Then in the interview process, they actually did ask me, and I told them because I'm kind of person that I like to share information. I don't care.
Okay, but they did understand how Reddit works, right?
Yeah, they did understand how Reddit.
Okay, then GitHub. They were impressed that you were recruiting from GitHub, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of position did they come to your original agency?
I'm just a tech recruiter anyway, so just tech.
Okay. And the third one, what did you say? Stack Overflow? Was that the third one you told them?
Same as GitHub, same principle, right?
Okay. And so anything else that you told them about yourself, or was it just your effervescent personality? Let me check with the others. She's got a good personality, doesn't she? She's fun to be with. Ernie, would you agree? I dare you to say no. With her right here.
my dog was growling here, so I had to put it on mute.
Okay.
I apologize. Didn't want to interrupt her. No, she does have a really good personality. Where are you from?
I'm from Slovenia.
Okay.
Slovenia is a small country next to Italy.
Yeah, no, it's always good to. And
okay, you probably know now already by now, like, okay, it's done, like it's the next first lady, but the last first lady was from Slovenia, so I guess more people know where.
Oh, Melania, we didn't know. I don't know. I know she was from somewhere over there. She was a stripper.
It was
or something
from somewhere
like
over here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. H might know. Maybe his mom is from there. No,
No,
or
but
his dad. Your
I taught
dad.
geography, so I know exactly where
Oh,
Slovenia
okay.
is.
H, do you think she's got the kind of engaging personality that you'd like to work
Yeah,
with?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm always anybody who smiles as much as me, I immediately gravitate towards. So I love it.
Okay, and I know that Ivan brought her here, so he must think that she's a good hire as well. Okay, so you told them, so we all like your personality, and I'm going to say that was probably a big factor. I don't know if they told you that. And then you gave them, you showed them how smart you are by telling them where you're going to recruit people. Were there any other key questions that they used that that you think made them want to hire you?
I mean, then obviously, later in the stage, yeah, of course, like I told them how I communicate, I read some messages that I have.
No, what does that mean? Your messages, your outreach messages? Is that what you have?
Or how so I did a campaign once where everyone that ghosted me and or didn't reply to my messages, I would just kind of post some pictures and just be like, this was for Slovenian candidates. So just kind of like a cricket sound. I just kind of, made a cricket sound like chiri. So, and I got really great responses after that because people.
You told us as well, before I forget, that you, Dimple, if you watch this, we were talking about you. Dimple, who's been a guest here, posted about using video platforms to talk to people, and you adopted her hint. You went to video. Is that right?
No, I didn't adopt her hints about Synthesia. I actually worked for Synthesia. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. But were you using video before you moved to this company?
No, I haven't. No, I'm also not a video person. I actually am really not a fan, but the way this platform does it, because like it's.
You shouldn't say that. You're working for this company and you're saying you don't
No,
like video?
but that's the thing, like, because the way this platform does it, so just, I just input text and I get a video out and it's super easy. So even though I have zero video editing skills or anything like that, I just, can make a video that is decent and nice in I don't know.
So you're sending out your outreach messages now are on video and they weren't before. And how has that changed your response?
Awesome, like really great. Like they really like this approach just because it's also personalized video. So the video starts.
Give us an example. What do you mean? First of all, how does it go out to the person? As an attachment in an email, or and when you say it's personalized, what does that mean? And if anybody else has questions about this,
or is it on LinkedIn, or how do you do it?
You mean the video or my outreach in general?
No, we're talking about your video emails. We're going to come back to how you got hired and what it's the
difference.
No. Let's talk about video for a second.
So I hire through email, through just requesting people on LinkedIn to connect with me, and through email. So I use all of the.
So where does the video go? How do they get the video?
So usually the video. So I'm a big fan of just kind of giving options. So then I would just say. You can, like, if it's an email, it would be a long email and it would say you can continue to read or you can watch this video.
And there's just a link. There's a link, or do they watch the video in the email?
No, there is a link, obviously. There is a link that I have to click on. If I do it super short, because, I have 300 characters on LinkedIn and I obviously cannot, give them all the information like in an email, I would just be like, hey, Anna, which is the name of the avatar that I'm usually using, has a great opportunity for you. Please watch this video that we made just for you. So it's kind of clear. Look, please open this up, right? And then they would be greeted with hi and their first name. And that's the personalization.
You know what? I'm gonna change. You told me before the show that since you became corporate, there's all kinds of, my word, not her, jerks, bugging her to sell them things, right? And so now you're sending someone an email and saying this is personalized just for you. Okay, is it really personalized, or is that just hogwash?
I mean, it's personalized, just that there is a name.
That's not 100% personalized. Yeah, that's personalized, kind of.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the most lazy personalization, but because it's in the video, everyone who has a little bit of clue how video looks like, they're like, oh, she really must have taken time.
Well,
right?
Does it say hi Ernie or hi H or hi Hachinsky or hi Ivan? Does it actually use their name?
It actually uses the name and says hi Michael, and it also says hi Michael on the first page. So it's also written on the first page, and it says
And
Hi,
what,
Michael.
give us one of your, go ahead, Ernie.
Do you do a video for every person you send out to, or is it a mass video?
No, no. So I obviously, yes, I personalize the video with their name, but the video stays the same. If there are some candidates that I really like, then I would make a whole video for them, but then that would be a whole project, and I would just really.
Okay, but hold on. What Ernie's saying, and I think is there like a stock, you make one video that goes out to everybody, and then there's a prefix, a little video separate for every person that goes on top of that, like a mail merge? No?
So the way it works is I actually have a template in Synthesia, and I use that template. And when I click on create a new video on template, I actually can input certain variables. In this case, it would be a name. So I would just input the name.
Okay, but on The Simpsons, remember you guys, if you remember The Simpsons, they used to have those videos. And then when they wanted to personalize them, they inserted the person's name, but it was completely different sound than the rest of the video. It was, hi, Bill. It came back, and then it continued, it was Troy Donahue or whoever it was, Troy McClure. Okay. So anyway, I'm curious now about that. What's in the script? What are you saying to people?
Yeah,
you talk to Ernie or H or someone, talk to them.
I usually open just with their name, and then kind of tell them what we are looking for, what's the position, like what, what
take one position, pretend like you're sending it out to us. How would it sound?
Yeah, the real thing, not a bird's eye view. Say, pretend you're doing it with Ernie.
Give us a short version of Miss Sarah emailing.
I mean, I can, like, I will.
Or just post the video. Just give us a link.
I will post the video.
Copy paste it in the chat.
Oh, great.
This is, I will paste it in the chat, but Michael, I will give you a publicly say, because this one was, made for one person. I will give you a generic version also if you want to.
Yeah, I just want to imagine for role play for a sec that Ernie is the candidate, okay?
The rehearsal.
So should I just read the script that is in the video? Because I can do that, obviously.
Go ahead.
So hi, Ernie. Here at Synthesia, we are expanding our engineering team, and we are looking for a senior software engineer. Some of the challenges we will have in the near future are enabling our users to do real-time cooperation and editing, improving video rendering and streaming, developing enterprise features, and implementing a whole new UI as our studio is getting redesigned.
Okay, you're talking faster than you do in the review.
I don't do the video. The video is done by an avatar. That's the thing. The video is done by a human that is not a human. It's generated.
A cartoon.
Avatar.
Oh.
Just open the link now. Take a minute. Open the link.
No, I don't want. I wanted you to tell me. Okay, now we understand. Now we understand. Okay, and you know what? I just think if it was you personally, that would be better. That's my guess. I haven't seen your video.
I can make an avatar of myself. I can make an avatar of myself. Like Synthesia can do this. I could also make an avatar of myself and do it with myself. Okay. It's just that I'm not there yet.
Okay, so let's come back to, has this changed? Has the video, look, you see, it's like pulling teeth now to get people who want to listen to this. They say, well, am I listening to Recruiting Animal fighting with her, or is she telling us something? What's the response? Is it different than it was before you started doing this video stuff?
I mean, definitely the emotions are stronger, like people, when they come back to me, they are not, yes, I'm interested, but it's like, oh my God, that's such a great way to open. Yes, I'm interested. But like that the response rate changed much, not really. Like, it's not that.
Okay, well, that's good that people are excited, but the response rate, I'm shocked. Anybody else got something to say about this so far? Ivan, you want to wake up? H, you're welcome to say something.
It's interesting stuff. Obviously, I love to give people options. So this shows me that like Sara knows what she's doing. Basically, always give people the option how to consume media. Because some people, if you only do video, they'll say, I'll not watch that. This is terrible. Or if you only do text, and they say, okay, I won't read that. Like I'm too lazy to read. So like it's always, you can't make it well for everyone. So like this option giving is very much more effort. But definitely yields like
I don't see it as more effort, but I do believe that she is going to be better herself. We all said at the beginning how much we like you, and then they're not putting you in the video. That's their ace in the hole, okay? I would fluff my hair up a little, okay? That's if I was you, when you make the video, not for the show. H, what do you want to say? Do you think you would make a video?
Well, yeah, I haven't watched the video yet, but I did pull up the platform website because I do want to check it out. I think it's interesting. One of my candidates mentioned something like this to me a couple months ago. He said, "Oh, sometimes I've been getting these emails from other recruiters that have a link to a personalized video that tells me a little bit about what the role is." And he said, he's like, "I find it engaging." So, you know, again, younger guy, I think this is going to be something that would skew demographically, where people who, like, you know, we've talked a lot about the phone issue, right? Some of the younger millennials and definitely Gen Z, they don't like the phone, but they will FaceTime each other. They like doing Teams or Zoom. So having something like this might really resonate with them.
Hey, I don't know about this age stuff. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, so let's go back to how you got hired. You know, this video stuff, it could have been done in 2 minutes if you would follow my lead instead of arguing with me, okay?
Okay.
No, they hired you because you showed them that you know how to do outreach, you know how to source people, okay? And what did your company, were they mad at you, the agency, for taking the job? Or did they say, boy, we got our girl inside there, we're gonna do business with them eventually? What's the story?
I don't know, I had a really great boss. She was very happy for me.
Oh, good.
She knew that I'm not going to stay there looking for Java developers in Slovenia for my whole career. So she was just kind of sad. She thought that, you know, she had more time with me, and she wanted to obviously offer me equity and things like that. But, you know, at that point, this company, I really like the product. I don't mind reaching out to people. And
you said, that's a question. You said, I couldn't say no. Why couldn't you say no? Money?
Yeah, because they gave me options. It's a great company to work for. I really believe that it's going to be like one of the letters in FANG, when this is kind of all over. So when they grow up a bit more. So I just think that having an opportunity to join a team, at that point, there were 60 people, and there was 8 people, I think, in engineering team. To scale an engineering team of such a company at this very early stage, I just thought that it's something.
I just want to advise everybody, every once in a while, you might want to make a face. So I have different expressions that I can, make stills from, like, oh, I'm surprised, and I can cut that out later on. I can cut that out. Look,
Michael, can I say something? I just saw the video, and it's some powerful stuff. I mean, it's not, I don't know how they do it, but it's not just talking about a person just talking. They have actual slides in the background, that kind of bullet points that tell you what the job is. So if someone's looking at it, they can kind of get a mini job description of what they have. And the person, I don't know how you get the person talking, but that is pretty good. Let me ask you, how much does it cost to do that?
So the personal plan is €30 per month. $30 per month, I think, for 10 minutes of footage. But this video was 50 minutes, right? So 50 seconds.
Yeah,
so 10 minutes is 10 videos like that. I mean, it's not, it's quite a lot, right?
So when you do that, do you give them the script and then you give them the bullet points?
No. So I have my own outreach message full of emojis and everything. My message on email is really long, and it starts with, here is a TLDR for you. You don't need to read past these 5 bullet points. And here is the video if you don't want to read it. And then if you need more information, just check the rest of the email. And I just think like Ivan kind of said, it works really great, because people who want stuff in 5 bullet points, they get it. People who prefer video, they get it. And people who then want more information about us also have a whole wall of text.
Yeah, and when you send it out, is that sent out in an email?
Yeah. So like I said, both email, in-mail as well, and also as just a connection request. I do have a little bit of a problem because it's 300 characters limitation, and the URLs are quite long.
You could go to Bitly, or tiny URL,
because then people are like triggered and they want to they want to open links, but because they don't know where it's going. So I'm also hiring engineers, so like they will be more suspicious about this thing.
Okay,
so
what about this? Oh, go ahead, Ernie, go ahead.
Did you do this at the other company that you were in before you get your present company?
Wake up, Ernie. She said all this stuff before. She sends
I know,
a
but
link.
I want to make sure.
Okay.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No, yeah. So I just started doing this obviously because I got access to this tool, and I was like, why aren't we sending videos for hiring? I mean, that's, and also this personalization is super super easy. You know, just then having this first page change and Anna saying a different name. So that just kind of makes sense because it's much more scalable for me actually.
And was this your idea to do this? Are you going into different ideas going forward?
This was my idea, even though I'm kind of surprised because just today we had a new person starting and she was so excited that I came up with this, where I think it's just kind of obvious, right? This is our product. This is what we do. Of course, I'm going to make a video and send it out to people.
It wasn't done before? You brought it into...
Yeah, that wasn't done before, no, actually.
See, look at that. You know, I mug for the camera so I can cut out the pictures later on. Who knows? Who guess, right? So you guys should do that too. It's just my tip, okay? I understand this medium. Okay. Now, the thing is, people who are internal recruiters, they're always saying, oh, I love growing the team. I love seeing my new hires progress in the company. I love having an ongoing relationship with the hiring managers. Is it different? Is it better?
It's a lot different. Is it better? I don't know. It's super different because I was approaching agency as kind of being a partner for developers, just being like, hey, you will need a new job soon. Let me help you find one that, you know, makes sense for you. I was working also like cooperating with, like I was working full-time for one agency, but I also had two other agencies that had different kind of jobs, and, you know, they weren't really matching. So I could really come and say to a candidate, look, we will find something for you, and just kind of something that makes sense for you. Obviously here is completely different, right? Because I have one job and that's it. Like we have these positions and that's just this project and this is it. Like not much to kind of share and go around. But then on the other hand, it's a great product. So I don't mind reaching out to people to work on these. We also have really great salaries. We're a remote company.
You know, I've let you talk for like 3 minutes and you're not answering the question I asked you, okay? I was talking about how you relate to the people inside. With the hiring manager, is it different with the hiring manager? Is it different with the people that your new hires, you actually still see them after they're hired, right?
No, she sends them a video.
Oh, actually, you're not on site. You're not on site, right? So you don't see people in the after you
I don't
bring
see
them
people. No. I don't actually kind of like I see people online after I hire them. Yes.
Oh, you do?
They're great. Yeah, for sure. The relationship, yeah, for sure, it's a different relationship with hiring manager. If nothing else, you know, you have the one or the two that you have, and that's what you kind of have to work with and around. And obviously, you know, just being in a more counseling role as well from the beginning for us to kind of catch, be on the same page about levels of developers.
Hey, my final question about that, like Amy has schooled me that she comes in and she tells the hiring manager, this is the way it's going to work. Okay. Now she would say I'm distorting her message, but she says, look, I'll put as much effort into this as you do. That's her famous line. Okay. But it sounds to me as well, she says, this is the way, the best way it's going to work. Like, can we follow this format? You know, and if you don't follow it, we're going to have problems. Do you have to do that with your hiring managers, or are they very cooperative, like from the start? Do you have to school them?
I would definitely have to do that, but I'm not Amy Miller, so you know, she definitely.
No, but you're not a shrinking violet either. Yeah. You're not a shrinking violet, okay? She's older than you. She's had time to get tough.
That's the thing, right? And she has experience. This was my first really recruiting in-house job, so obviously I needed some time. And now definitely I am more of, you know, just being like, yeah, I think we should do it like this, and you know, that's kind of my final on this, and we should approach stuff like this. But definitely, you know, changing jobs and just being young and a millennial and everything, just
So having gone in-house, having a corporate job for the first time, what do you like best about it?
This is such a hard, like, I like that I also that the team is different. It's more, it's bigger. It's a company. It's not an agency where you just have recruiters there. So I actually like that we are a variety of different profiles in the company. And other than that, I don't. And
You know what?
also, yeah, that I can focus. So GitHub, right? GitHub, Stack Overflow, these kind of things. These were not possible for me in an agency because it's just I didn't know enough about what they actually need and what the developers will actually work on. Whereas now I know exactly why they need them in the team. So I will go and check for people that have been working on exactly that things.
You
already.
understand the job better? Is that what you're telling Ernie?
Yeah, no, not that I understand it better, is that I actually get information, which I didn't as an agent. Like in agency, they weren't so transparent with everything. They didn't tell me everything. Here I go and they will tell me, you know, down to the last point, what they need, how, and it's.
Why wouldn't you get it as an agency recruiter? You're doing the same job for them. You said, how can you tell them, look, you got to tell me.
I think it's a little bit also with the market. Obviously, I worked for a very small agency in the Slovenian market, and the level of developers that they needed there, it literally was like, yeah, you have Java, you qualify. Like it wasn't find me someone that will, take care of this runtime environment and do super hard C++ optimizations.
Okay, we're moving on. Anybody can talk about that, but Steven's here, and I got to get to Ivan is having a fight with one of his clients, and I want everybody's opinion on it, okay? The famous Stephen O'Donnell from Scotland.
Afternoon, everyone.
What great audio he's got, okay? And what's your URL?
In background too.
It helps to have one of these.
What's your URL? What's your URL? Don't make me beg, okay? MarioTheRecruiter.com is here. You missed an interesting intro, okay? But now, we interviewed our good friend Sara, but now we're going to talk about our other good friend Ivan. Wake up, Ivan! I'm going to talk about you, okay? I'm going to tell you, I think I'm going to decide against Ivan. Unfortunately, I'm torn, but he's got a client, okay? And I think on March 10th, there's an internal recruiter there, started dealing with speaking to this guy on LinkedIn. Okay, so there's a candidate on LinkedIn. The internal recruiter started speaking to that candidate on May 10th of this year, but he didn't present that candidate with a job. He didn't talk to him about any specific job. He just started chatting with him about what? I don't know. What he had for lunch? Ivan is going to have to tell me. So that's May 10th. On May 13th, Ivan, I think you sent in the guy's profile, you recruited him and sent it in on the 13th. On the 17th, what was it? They made an offer and they're saying.
They just like had a phone call and stuff because they scheduled it, I think, before and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, but they said they're not going to pay Ivan because this internal recruiter was chatting this same candidate up before Ivan did. Now, Ivan says, yeah, but he didn't present the job. The candidate told me we weren't talking about any specific job, but they're a good client. They do repeat business with Ivan. I think the idea that the internal recruiter had it planned, he was in motion with this candidate already, that works against you. Ivan, do you want to correct anything I said? Am I way off base?
Yeah, no, you gave the story perfectly. And
you did a great job recruiting Animal. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, the Facebook group was very helpful in giving all kinds of comments about the situation. So that was great.
So you don't want to talk about it now?
I wanna like advertise your Facebook group. Everybody should join Recruiters Online. 22,000 members.
This is a
the
show.
Best Facebook group.
There's not really no Facebook group has the number. Yeah. Okay. No group unless in case you're naive. Okay. No group has the number of people that Facebook says it does, because Facebook actually shows you the active members. So it says 23,000. I think there's 14,000 a month active. Stephen is a tough guy. Okay.
40,000 a month. Big number.
14,000. Okay. So Stephen O'Donnell, Rich doesn't like me saying that he's a tough guy. Okay. But Stephen O'Donnell, I don't think he minds. You don't mind that, Steve, or would you rather?
No, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. So he's a tough business person. Okay. And my classic statement, proof of that, is that he placed a hiring manager's own brother-in-law and charged him for it. I can't get over that one. Okay. So what do you think Ivan should do? It's a company that gives him regular business. but
Yeah.
the internal guy was speaking to this candidate with the intent to recruit him, but didn't even talk to him about the job before Ivan did. So
So there are two paths that you can go down. The first one is that you don't want to fall out with a client. Maybe you want to claim credit and brownie points wherever possible, but if the client is digging in their heels, you don't want to fall out with them because it would jeopardize future business. So that's a business call where you make the decision: do I risk falling out with them and getting no more business? Do they need me more than I need them? Can I stand my ground? And to what extent do I put my hands up and say, right, fine, in this instance, we'll set it to one side, but let's have stricter rules for the future so that this sort of thing doesn't come up. So there's an opportunity to make something out of it without necessarily making the fee. If you're adamant that you want to make the fee, then introducing a candidate as a recruitment consultant or recruitment agency, you are acting as the agent of the candidate. You're acting on behalf of the candidate. So when you submit a candidate for a vacancy, you're acting on their behalf. You've told them about the job, the company, the opportunity. They've weighed up the pros and cons, and they've said, right, go ahead, make the application in my name. So when you make an application in their name, that's the application that applies in this instance. Now, if the internal recruiter happens to be looking at your profile, if they happen to have started a conversation, if they've introduced the vacancy, if they've said, let's formally go down the path to talk about this vacancy, then that's a different thing. But it sounds as if the internal recruiter was simply talking to someone who might be in a possible candidate.
No, but I think it was based on his intent. He did want to recruit this person, but he was warming him up. So, you're saying, no, wait a second. I know what you were saying, and you're dragging it out longer than you have to, okay? You said right away, if it's repeat business and you need this client, kiss it goodbye. Lots of people would not agree with you.
But
I agree with you.
In kissing it goodbye, claim all the brownie points that you can.
Well, what could have been done? You said, okay, we have to make arrangements for the future. What could have been done? You say, listen, client, if the internal recruiter has his mind set on something, he should let me know right away, okay? He should send me an email, stay away from this candidate, okay? Like on May 10th, Ivan should have got an email from that client and said, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm talking to this person in case you come across him. Don't worry about it. Hands off.
Important point. Talking with a candidate generally, just how you doing, isn't the weather nice? That sort of thing does not constitute a path to a particular vacancy.
That's why I said it was his plan. It was his strategy. Okay.
Yeah. So you might be planning. An internal recruiter might suggest one job to a candidate, and you're actually you've introduced them for another vacancy with another hiring manager in the same organization. So your introduction stands if it's for something separate, if it's a specific candidate for a specific vacancy at a specific point in time. Anyone can anyone can access the information, but what you're doing is you're making a formal application on behalf of the candidate for a particular vacancy this week, not next week, not last week, this week.
Okay, I think the company wouldn't. That's not an argument they would swallow. You say, well, yeah, you know what? Okay, you recruited him for job A, but I recruited him for job B, so you're going to pay me for that. I don't think they'd swallow that. Let's go around.
I want to pause you there. So in everyone's terms and conditions, you'll have the term that if you introduce a candidate to a company for a job, they can then suggest that candidate to some other business or part of the business, and then claim, oh, we don't have to pay a fee because it wasn't us that hired the person. We simply passed on his information.
MarioTheRecruiter.com. Do you have an opinion? I don't think you'd like to say it's okay with me. You're not that kind of guy.
No, it is okay with me. It depends on the revenue flow. For example, if the company is giving him 100K in business and this position is going to cost him 15 to 20K. All right. And if he has the potential to make another 100K in the next 6 months, screw it. Let it go. Tighten your contract after that. It's a business call.
Ernie?
Simple as that.
I would talk to the internal recruiter and I would ask him, what happened? Where did we go wrong? This is how I feel right now. And I feel
would you use the classic line, Ernie's not happy? Would you go like this? Ernie's not happy?
Ernie's not happy. So how do we make me happy? You know, and I talk to him and I say, hey, look, man, we work together. We're cool. And then this happened. And I feel kind of like I got screwed. So where did we go wrong? How do we fix this? So going forward, or even now, I can feel good. And tell me.
I like that.
you know, and you
Give me a
go through
taste.
that because you go straight to
Give
the
me just a
source
taste.
and you talk to them.
Okay.
And then what you're doing is laying out the groundwork between you and the hirer and the recruiter. Because a lot of times internal recruiters don't want to be stood up, or they don't want us to outdo them. And he may be like, this may be his only placement the whole year. And Ivan's placing like 12 people already with him. So, you know, you don't know the situation, and he may ask,
Okay,
hey,
okay. H, got opinion?
Just kind of what Ernie was saying at the end, like I know sometimes it can create friction between an internal recruiter, because we see that sometimes even with some of our folks where like all of a sudden a client will just stop, oh, we're not gonna look at any project or account management people. I'm like, what happened? And it's usually because of something with the internal recruiter, and once it gets sorted out, it seems to go away.
Okay, Sarah, who has worked on both sides now. And if you have to go, Sarah, don't, I made you the focus of the show for the first half, but feel free, okay? I don't know your schedule or, you know, what kind of taskmasters these new employers of yours are. Okay, so now you could actually see yourself as the agency person and also as the internal recruiter. What's the story?
I don't know. I actually read that thread, and I read the post, and I read through the comments. So I actually would want to ask, because I've gotten some more context from there as well. You know that he actually did speak with the candidate as well. So I'd actually be happy, what you ended up doing, and if something already came out of this. Like, did you learn something more than Michael's?
Are you dodging? First of all, it's the recruiting animal on the show, okay?
Sorry.
Get it straight, number one. Secondly, you're dodging the question. You're tossing. I can ask Ivan if I want to know from Ivan. I'm asking you, who's right?
I don't think this is like there is no right and wrong in such things.
I mean, well, one second. Ivan is definitely right. Okay. But for the sake of the business he runs, he needs to maintain relationships with customers. If it's a good paying customer, you need to let it go at times. Sometimes you need to take a hit for the longer term business.
Okay. So now I'll let Sarah interview Ivan. Go ahead.
This should be good.
She wanted to ask him a question.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
basically, in such situations, it's really, I'm totally normally pissed, like so pissed. And like, okay, I'm in the right because of this 50 reasons. Like I've done all these million things for you and now you do this, but then like I post the stuff on the group, I get good feedback, like explaining how like it can be seen from other perspectives, right? I talk to all the people involved, and basically then I like calm down a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, it's nothing progressed on this front so far, but like, I mean, I see like what Ernie says. I think the best, like, I hope the outcome will be like that. Then everybody can just continue working together and everything will be good, right? So these things dissolve usually if you have sympathy to each other, right? So with clients where sympathy was the basis for everything, usually these situations were solved. With clients where there's no sympathy, even the slightest like misbehavior on either side led to complete collapse of the relationship, right? So
and when you're talking to the recruiter, the internal recruiter, you're listening for their attitude, and if their attitude sucks with you, then it's time to move on.
Yep.
What
does attitude actually mean, like in English? I heard it so
like,
often.
If they get defensive with you. If they're like all of a sudden, well, what do you think? And you're starting to, this is not going anywhere. But if they come back with you and talk and say, yeah, we might have made a mistake, but there's nothing I can do, bro. What do we do? And then there you can ask for a favor in the future. And you work the relationship. Why don't you turn me on to this job, or let me recruit for that one? But you can work it to your favor. But if their attitude is so defensive, you're not going to go anywhere in the future, and that may be just the wrong relationship to have. And
what I'm thinking, what Stephen and Ernie said, basically say, hey, okay, look, what I definitely did is like sell the job really well on the phone. Now I get like $0 USD for it, so at least like increase my fee for other roles, for exple.
What do you mean, a negotiating tactic? I don't think that's going to work.
Nah,
okay, I'm moving on.
Work.
Next question. Next question. I love this one, but I don't think it's going to generate much conversation. The recruiter, this is for real. The recruiter said her hiring manager wanted to reject a candidate over a typo in a cover letter because he wanted somebody who's detail oriented. What would you say to that idiot? Okay, anybody?
Is he living in 2022?
She said a cover letter is not even required. Okay, I don't like to see typos or mistakes like that either. But the guy wanted but the candidate had lots of good stuff, but made this typo. Anybody want to say how they would deal with it?
There are two kinds of stupid going on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Both sides.
It depends that if on their resume they put detailed oriented.
Yeah, and that's what he's
Detailed and misspelled. You know? Hey.
It depends on the role also. What is the role the candidate's going for? That's the most crucial question.
Okay, is there any role where you could imagine that would be important?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you're doing a marketing position, BA, business analyst, writing role, writer.
Anybody agree with him that you, anybody, I want to hear how the people would deal with the hiring manager. We'll come to you, Sarah, since you have to plan on how you're going to deal with whip your guys into place now. Steven, she just moved into corporate. Okay, go ahead. What would you say?
I would deal with this. Like, I would just be so shocked and would just be like, dude, should I just show you how I make typos all the time? I don't know. Like, this is so stupid for me. Like, why would this be like, if you are, I don't know. I would totally freeze in this situation. Like, really.
Sarah would reject them. I can tell right now.
Sarah, I'm guessing that you speak more than one language, and as such, I definitely, in all regards to language, defer to your expertise. So whenever someone's applying for a job and they make a daft typo, the better way to judge the candidate is not on the typo that they made, but how they would respond if you brought it up with them. So if you're speaking to a candidate, you say, I see you made a bit of a mistake there. If they say, oh yeah, it was a daft thing to do, silly mistake. People make these mistakes all the time. Or if the candidate got super defensive and said, well, you knew what I was saying. It's totally excusable. That I would judge the candidate more on how they would respond to being corrected.
Talking about how to deal with the hiring manager, like your first impulse. What are you, crazy? Okay, I worked hard to get this candidate. The person's got. I'll just tell you, since you guys are not giving me what I want, really. Okay.
Why don't we?
Hey, come on.
No. Somebody said, let me give a solution, and you guys can comment on that if you want.
It's going to be wrong anyway, but go ahead.
Here's what she said. No, I didn't come up with it. She said, look, I would say to the hiring manager, just have a quick chat to address your concerns. 15 minutes is not worth missing out on a good hire. Since he's got these other things we're looking for, let's look for a reason to hire instead of focusing on reasons to keep the job open. I thought, if the guy's a moron, this would still be a good way to deal with them. What do you think? It was kind of gentle. Yeah, okay, maybe there's a problem, but just check them out for a few minutes. It won't cost you too much. And then hinting, don't be so negative as well. Does anybody like that? Does anybody? Yeah,
I like it. I would start it out with, hey, do me a favor. I took the time to talk to this person. I think, given your personality and theirs, you'd be a match. Why don't you have a conversation with them? If at the end of the conversation, you like everything, but this one error, misprint.
It'll put it into perspective. I like what Ernie said. Make Ernie happy, okay? Anybody else? My first impulse was to say, you're crazy, okay? You're not going to work with me again if you're going to be stupid like this, okay? But then I saw the other person's more tactful way of doing it. Anybody? No? Okay.
Go back to old emails and check, find one of that person's emails and see if there's an error.
Okay. Does anybody have a burning issue they'd like to talk about? We've got 15 minutes left.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on recession? I mean, they're talking that there's going to be a recession. What's happening there?
In the United States or the world?
It starts in the US, it hits the world. We all know that.
I'm not interested in that, but I'll let someone answer you.
Hey, but that's a business question. We're running businesses here.
I mean, you can make it a recruiting question.
It is related to recruiting.
No, you can ask it in this way that, like, okay, do you see in your, because predictions are impossible, right? But what we can say is, like, okay, what happened in the last, let's say, 3 months to you guys? For me, like, I had candidates for the first time saying, like, hey, how's my job status? What's like, where do we stand? And usually like coding candidates,
They're
never do
kissing
that,
your
right?
ass and instead of telling you to screw off. Is that what you
Exactly.
Times have
for once.
changed.
Yeah. But like, this might be like just anecdotal evidence. I don't know if this is like representative, but if now like 6 different recruiters say, if you guys say the same, then might be that this is like, might be something, right? So did you, all of you, like see any changes significant in the last 3 months, or is everything more or less the same?
I see them all being the same. I don't see anything really changing. I don't see a lot of changes.
Should have said goodbye. Okay, she could have said, recruiting animal, I gotta go. Thanks, it was fun. Okay.
I mean, the reason I'm asking this question is Animal. Jerry posted this in the group.
Yeah.
You saw that, right? So I was just wondering.
Yeah, I saw Jerry ask me why I put a picture of a woman with a gun as well. Okay, warning people not to post ads. Okay, good. I just wanted you to say goodbye.
Sarah's
I felt
back.
like
I didn't go. My kid was, you know.
we were on a
on the
date, and you
internet to
didn't
see my
give
kid.
me even a peck on the cheek, you know, at the end
Oh
of
my
the night.
God, she
Okay.
ghosted the Animal. How sad.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's
Look,
back. But she's back. For the,
Yeah, she's back. Okay, but okay, here's another one. Okay, here, this is super rich. I was saving it for him. Okay, somebody posted accepting a new job is 70% emotional and a 30% logical decision. And super rich said, yeah, he agreed. He liked that. I think it's absurd. People use their heads when they take a new job. It's not just emotional. Anybody want to agree with me, or does somebody want to support?
Are these the same guys who are in Netflix who are posting this, or what?
What?
Are these the same guys who are working for Netflix right now?
I don't know.
With all the woke stuff?
I don't know. It's emotional. It's not emotional. It's lots of
Rubbish.
calculation. The emotional part is the uncertainty. Okay, but I don't think that's a key factor. Go ahead, Ernie.
I think the emotion comes from having to tell your existing employer that you're leaving, and you don't know what to expect out of there because you're kind of excited about your new job. You said yeah, and then after that comes all the BS about, hey, we love you.
You're wrecking the company. We need you. How can you do this to me?
Here's an extra $50,000 right now because we want.
Oh, that's different. That's calculating. That's not emotion. Anybody else? Does anybody think it's emotion?
The emotion from that comes away. Why didn't you give me the money before?
Well,
you've been giving me 3% for the last 5 years.
That's not so much of an issue if they're giving you the money now. Okay. Does anybody?
No, I mean, yes, it could be emotional, but it's not totally emotional. All right. It'll be about 30% emotional. Balance should be practical.
Are you saying that the emotion is fear of confronting your current employer and resigning?
No, it could be fear. It could be excitement of trying out something new also.
Okay. Where does
depends.
the emotion come from? Okay, we'll go around. Ivan, where does the emotion come from in for the candidate taking a new job? Fear of resigning, or fear that the new company is going to be not as nice as she thinks, or is it excitement? Like Ernie said, its emotion is exciting for it to have something new. Well, where does the emotion come from?
I think the compounding, it's like changing apartments, right? You're thinking, okay, the new apartment will be like shit for some reason, and you miss the old one. Same with the jobs, but more complicated maybe even, because it's like you have a compounding effect of these two things going together. Like you miss maybe things about the old place.
That sounds like a calculation, not an emotion. Is any?
I don't know. For me, it works like that. You have like the thoughts, and they like produce emotions, I guess. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Ivan is a very calculated individual.
Yeah, okay. I can see Ivan thinking that way too.
Yeah, he's like a typical, machine. No offense, Ivan.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Logical. It's got to be logical.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean.
Oh, okay. I got something else that's new. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this kind of stuff. It's about new vocabulary for diversity. You're not allowed to use the term minority anymore because the word minor suggests that there's something diminished about the member of a minority. Okay, I'm just advising you. Okay.
You use the word. You use the word.
Okay, and you can't say, "Hey guys," because that's sexist.
God, not again. Oh
You're
my God.
supposed to say y'all. You're supposed to say y'all. Now, I always thought y'all was a
Texas?
Cultural appropriation. I've never said y'all in my life. Okay, y'all.
How does that differ from the fact that you don't say actress? Everybody's an actor now.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Nobody's a waitress
why
either.
can't everybody, and if you say dudes, and they say, why is that guys? You know, what is dudes? What does dude mean?
Yeah, it used to mean, but the thing is, if you can say they when you mean one person, why can't you say guys when you mean women? What
Yeah,
else?
I use that all the time. I mean, okay, I'm sexist.
Okay, anybody
Cancel
else?
me.
What about the only woman here? Is it a problem with guys? Do you want to say y'all from you're over there in Slovenia or Serbia? And you say, hey y'all. Yeah.
I actually would open my English emails with hi all rather than hi guys, even though I would kind of, because I read this too. But on the other hand, it's very hard because you obviously have a very different cultural aspects of this and this conversation going around, obviously in your country about all of this. And this is also not my native language. So I know I will be making mistakes and people will be, and I'm not going to speak.
Y'all. I always see Amy always says y'all, and I challenged her on it. Oh, y'all. What about Scotland? Go ahead.
Not only that, but when people talk about having a diversity and women being a minority, we'll talk about minorities and women. And in fact, women are the majority. There's slightly more women than there are guys. So when you talk about diversity, then you're in a dodgy area. Also the term BIPOC. So the term BIPOC, which is
yeah, I know he's claiming BIPOC status.
Well, so Black, Indigenous, person of color. So I'm Indigenous because I'm living in Scotland. I'm from Scotland. Yeah. I do look like this. I'm an old white guy, but I'm Indigenous. So Indigenous is different wherever you are, and I'm BIPOC in that case.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're supposed to say historically excluded instead of minority. H, do you have anything?
Yeah, I was gonna chime in on the guys thing in the sense that I grew up in Rhode Island, New England. We all use guys as the catch-all. I never said y'all because I'm not from the South. And then when I moved to Florida, like I still don't say it. But then in the last couple of years in the classroom, I started hearing this thing about guys being a microaggression, or you can't say guys. So I just started using stuff that was even more neutral in the sense, like I would say folks or hey gang. I think I personally don't see anything wrong with guys, because in most foreign languages, when you're talking about a mixed company, you use the masculine term, right? Like if you're talking about a group
doesn't mean the patriarchy's been oppressing women for thousands of years. Okay, doesn't mean it's good.
My point, Animal, is I don't have any qualm with guys. Okay. I still say it slips out.
I want to see.
Also, when you say guys, you're to a bunch of old guys.
No.
Guys
if
is
I'm
young.
to my students or group
He's
of
teaching kids. He's a teacher, an educator.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I want to see these people, these diverse people like Sara and Mario and Ivan. I want to see them saying y'all from now on if they come to the.
No way in hell. Not happening.
Hey, y'all.
Listen. Hey, listen,
Hey,
Animal, let's come to the point here. Don't you think there are more pressing issues rather than, the way they call guys?
You know what? In Canada, we're ripping down the statues of all the Scottish guys who started the country. I'm not kidding. This country was founded by Scottish people. They're getting their heads chopped off.
Well, also probably racist Scottish people at the same time.
Well, that's the accusation. Okay. Let me see. Okay, final issue. Okay, I'm sorry I left this one, but it's kind of interesting. Okay, one of my placements was fired. Okay. And so the client doesn't want to pay for the next placement, okay? Because the second person was hired. They hired two people. The first one, the person was fired before they paid for the second one. Does anyone want to take and this recruiter's upset, okay? Because the guarantee says he can have a replacement for that person who got fired, but not that they can cancel the payment on a separate placement. Anybody want to take that on before we go?
You only get a replacement if you've paid the invoice for the first one in the first place within the terms. So if the invoice is paid, you get the guarantee. If it's not paid, you don't get the guarantee.
Okay, but who's holding the money? Okay, they got the money. They're just saying we're not paying you.
In your example, there's candidate A and candidate B.
Yeah.
Somebody got paid. Was candidate A paid and candidate B fired?
Candidate A was fired and they paid the recruiter for it, right?
Okay.
Candidate B was hired, but they haven't paid him yet. He started before the other one got fired. Anybody else? Going once.
It depends on the contract. What's written there?
Okay,
As
it's
usual.
against the contract. It's obviously against the contract, right?
Yeah.
They can't charge it
Then
against
he-
that, but they want to.
Let me tell you a similar situation. A friend of mine had a plumber install central heating, and he wasn't happy with the work, but he'd already paid. So he wanted some of the money back. And the plumber refused outright, not going to give you any money back. So rather than argue the case, he got them to do some more work to fit a fancy shower in his house. And at the point at which they were looking for money, he said, "You're not getting it." So he was holding folding. So rather than get money back, he asked for more work. And this falls into the same sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah,
than
but that's a
do
separate,
that.
that could be a separate contract and you can get sued on the second part.
Yeah, well, you can go to law, but again, do you want to fall out with the person? It comes down to who's holding folding.
I guess that's it. Okay, everybody. That's it. Sarah, good luck at the new job. Thanks for sharing with us. Ivan, Ernie, Mario, Stephen, H, and Sarah. Goodbye, everybody.